The stock market wiped out $5 trillion in one day, but the crypto market held. Jerome Powell said that these tariffs are going to cause inflation, while Trump snapped back and said, yo, JP, you better be cutting rates. We're going to be talking XRP price along with the SEC, giving us clarity on...
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
And you heard me correctly, guys, gals, and giraffes with blue hair. The stock market's lost $5 trillion in one day. The entire market cap of the crypto market is $2.6 trillion. So essentially, double the crypto market was lost in stocks on one day. Why that happened, we did get clarity from the SEC. XRP price talk, but we're going to get into it. But first, your comments, because you, the viewer, what matter most. Michael Brent starts us off, says, the CEO and CTO of Ripple literally came out and told all of us that Ripple doesn't need XRP. They said this numerous times and nobody gave a shit. To think, hey, these guys are trying to tell us something. The XRP was just a tool to raise revenue so they could get their stable coin. Here's the thing, though. We got some clarity on stable coins, but there's one thing the SEC screwed us over on. And oh, this one is going to piss you off. Kenneth Carthy says the government holds tons of gold, and yet the value goes up, same as XRP. Billions in escrow, yet the value goes up. It's about the ledger, not the token. James Isengard is hanging out with us and dropping support on the channel and says, thank you. Well, you're welcome, sir, and thank you for the support where I bring you the news, whether it's good or bad, happy or sad. And yesterday, I hope you weren't looking at your 401ks because it was a rough one. Bitcoin sitting at 80,994, ETH 1789, XP at 213, while BNB's at 593, Sol 118 at 8 at 65 cents. Is there some relief on the screen? Yes, but not much. And here's the problem. The tariff fears. I did an article, at least I read an article before I went live on here, that said it is going to take the United States between 2 and 3 years to build manufacturing plants, to bring manufacturing back in the United States. So be ready for inflation to be higher for longer. The shock Fed warning risk crashing Bitcoin and altcoin prices. That's right. Jerome Powell went on the mic and he peed in our Cheerios. You thought I was in a bad mood yesterday. JP was even worse. After Donald Trump announced his Liberation Day tariffs, BTC and altcoins performed stocks. We know about that. ETH was stuck slightly below 2,000 and the total market cap dropped from 2.7 to 2.6. But remember, the stock market lost $5 trillion. Jerome said this, and this is where stuff is getting absolutely freaking wild. Jerome, our obligation is to keep longer-term inflation expectations well anchored and to make certain that one-time increase in the price level does not become an ongoing inflation problem. Basically, what Jerome is saying is, look, short-term, we're going to be feeling pain from tariffs. Our job is to make sure that that pain doesn't continue. And this is where Trump snapped back. These two do not like each other. Trump, however, disagrees. He said this would be a perfect time for Fed Chair Jerome Powell to cut rates. He says he's playing politics. Ooh, that's what he accused Jerome of. Rough. Stock market rout deepens as the Dow plunges more than 2,200 points and the NASDAQ enters the bear market. The reason the NASDAQ entering the bear market is key is because that's all about tech stocks. And crypto falls within that tech bubble, but we saw Friday, the crypto markets beat the stock markets. You know what's really cool about crypto? And I get the whole speculation, making money and all that. What's cool about crypto, we can trade this stuff 24/7. So if news were to break this weekend, good, bad, happy, or sad, we could trade it. Can the stock market players do that? No, they can't. They got to wait till Monday. What about the ETF players? Nope, they got to wait till Monday. Powell said, while uncertainty remains elevated, it is now becoming clear that the tariff increases will be significantly larger than expected. The same is likely to be true of the economic effects, which will include higher inflation and slower growth. That is not good, everyone. And they're saying it's short term. Here's the problem. When the United States started buying all their stuff from China and overseas, we shut down all our plants here. So now that we're adding all those tariffs, we need to start making stuff here. Well, it's going to take time to reopen those plants and retool them. The S&P fell by 322 points, nearly 6%. The Dow Jones slid 5.5%. Not good, everyone, but crypto held. All right, let's keep learning, all right? The U.S. SEC concludes that most stablecoins are not securities. No shit, girlfriend, but, this is where the SEC bent us over. because I've been reading your comments, and don't get me wrong, I don't mind if people agree with me, don't agree with me. We're here to learn from each other. That's why we have these tough conversations. That's why I bring up tough concepts so that we can all grow together. But listen to this. Your comments are so 100% correct when it comes to this. The SEC has clarified that most stablecoins do not pass as securities. In an April 4th statement, the regulator disclosed this stance as bills seeking to create a framework for stablecoins in America gain momentum. It described covered stablecoins as assets designed to maintain a one-to-one relative value to the dollar, and they can be redeemed for the same valuation of the dollar and have reserves fully back. And basically what they're saying is stablecoins are things that are backed one-to-one and they're not algorithmically based. Oh, by the way, I've got the SEC announcement right here. It's all linked in the description below. This is where stuff gets wild from the SEC. Nonetheless, the regulator's description of covered stablecoins does not include algorithmic ones. We're okay with that, okay? The SEC also said that they are not, I repeat, stablecoins should not be yield bearing for holders. That is utter bullshit, everyone. Think about this. You take your cash and you park it in a bank. You get some money for that, right? You get some yield for your cash, don't you, right? Because the bank takes your cash, they invest it, they make money on it. What about stable coins? Same thing. You park your money with stables, you should get some interest on it because the company that you're parking your money into stables, they're using those stables to invest and grow. So again, the SEC, even with new leadership, is not cool with interest earning for stables, and that's total BS. Why? Because that's going to keep money out of the stablecoin market, and that sucks. Because stables are a great way to get into crypto. We've seen over the last several weeks and months that stablecoins have been booming, right? Stablecoins are one step away from buying alts, from buying BTC, from buying whatever. And yet the SEC still doesn't want to give us interest on it. But yet it's cool for us, though, to give money to banks where they can earn interest on us off SEC. Cut interest rates. JEROME, stop playing politics. Yeah. This is going to get nasty. While tariffs are likely to generate a temporary rise in inflation, it's also possible that these effects could be more perfect. This is wild, all right? Trump said this is a perfect time for Fed Chairman Jerome Powell to cut rates. We talked about that. This is what the rest of the quote said. That's why I save this for the end, because this is the juicy news. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Why? Because I bring you the news, good, bad, happy, or sad. I don't fill you with hopium or copium, and I bring up tough topics that may hurt the channel growth-wise, but it's better for all of us to be exposed. That's my promise to you. So this is what Trump said. He is always late, but he could change now. He could change his image and quickly. Energy prices are down, interest rates are down, inflation is down, and even eggs are down 69%. Nice. And jobs are up, all within 2 months. A big win for America. Cut interest rates, Jerome, and stop playing politics. Essentially what Trump is saying is, hey, look, if we have some short-term inflation, you could offset that inflation by lowering rates, make things a bit more affordable. Everyone, guys, gals, blue-haired giraffes, we've got a hell of a battle on our hands right now between Powell and Trump. Overall in the crypto market, volume is kind of mad, down 24% from yesterday at 74 billion. We're still BTC dominant, which sucks, meaning BTC is holding its price better than the rest of the market. The dominance right now is 15 out of 100, leaning heavily to BTC. Fear and greed right now is at 27. We've been in the fear zone for quite a while. It's going to take the prices to move quite a bit for us to get there. Market cap at 2.67 trillion. That's the entire market cap of crypto. Imagine the 5 trillion lost by the stock markets in one day. Wow, is that wild. XRP, I've got the 1 month chart up on the screen. We're down 17% for 1 month. It looks like we may have hit a temporary bottom here, sub $2. We talked about that. We talked about if you want to buy XRP, if you want to play the speculation game, if you want to make money. And remember, just because utility is lacking doesn't mean you can't make money. You can make money from speculation. You just have to be very careful with that. XRP sub $2. Yes, it happened. Let's go to the 15-minute candlestick and see what things look like. Here's that sub attempt twice right here. I told you with the head and shoulders that we need to breach this head in order for it to continue. We did have a little bit of a push down right here where we got to a low of 201.60. But again, support north of $2. That is very important for XRP holders to see. That no matter what the dynamics are, no matter what the macros are, we held our support above $2. Now, we did get a rejection here, and this rejection just happened at a high of right around 215 and a half, 217 and a half, okay? Sorry, 217 and a half. So right now the market is telling us, I don't know, 217, we're not too happy with it. In fact, this high candlestick right here got us to 216. The majority of XRP holders will start waking up once we breach this 225 because we got rejected right here at 225. So right now the story is this. Is it good that we held north of $2? Hell yeah, it is. That is honestly good. I don't care how negative you want to feel, how negative you want to be. XRP time and time again is holding above $2, which is great. Now, are we melting faces and pumping to the moon? No, we're not. Is XRP cheap enough right now for you to buy at 213, 217? No, because we know we could snipe under $2. Did we get the super discount-a-roni that we were hoping for, like we saw on Sunday, Bloody Sunday? No, we didn't get that. But the stock market, Jerome Powell, Trump, and tariffs, this whole thing is going to take a while to digest. The stock market pullback is bigger than most people are thinking. And the problem is, if it's going to take us a couple years to build manufacturing plants so we can now build stuff in the United States, because guess what? That's the point of tariffs, right? To bring more stuff domestically, that's going to take time to fix things. Stock market bleeding, crypto market hodling, prices, yeah, better than where they were most of last year, but nowhere near the juicy zone. And we still see that you could buy things at certain targets to make some short-term money and to stack your long-term bags. Sub $2 XRP, it's possible, but the support is there to keep us above the $2 rate. And I hope everyone watching to this point realizes what I'm trying to do with this channel. I'm trying to bring you the good, the bad, the happy, and the sad. Even if it means my channel takes a hit with subs, takes a hit with views. I'm trying to share with you everything so that you can make the best decision out there regarding what you hold. Now, let's be real here. Stock market, 401ks, painful day. Do you know how many emails I got yesterday? Bro, this sucks, man. My portfolio just took a dump. Bro, it's bad. But I have to share that with you. I don't want to sit here and lie to you and tell you, oh, everything is great. Tariffs are going to take a long time. We do not build stuff here in the United States. Most countries across the globe don't build shit in their own countries. They have to buy stuff from Thailand, from China, from El Salvador, where they're making stuff. So all these tariffs, and they're bigger than what we expected, are gonna really have big, lasting impacts on the market. Now, long term, hey, we don't know what's gonna happen yet. But short term, we know the stock markets are freaking the F out. Traditional finance is freaking the F out. The SEC is like, yo, stable coins aren't securities, but we're not gonna let you earn interest on that. But if you wanna park your money in a bank, oh, we're definitely cool with that. Dude, this is the SEC under new leadership, and we still can't get these tools to treat crypto fairly like traditional finance. But the crypto market's holding, where we're seeing the stock market take a bigger beating. Let's see what next week brings, because don't forget, everyone, we got what? Oh, girlfriend, we got CPI data coming up. Yeah, let's see what happens with the markets there. Choo-choo what? Well, you know the deal. Check out the sign behind me. Yeah, choo-choo bitches.